Sind wir ja schon wieder hier. Same procedure as last year.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
Es war einer der schönsten Momente meines Lebens, ja, definitiv.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Das sieht ein bisschen aus nach Gothic oder so. Nicht nach Gothic, nach Dark Souls. Ja, nach Gothic auch ein bisschen. Das wäre so witzig, wenn man jetzt Gothic spielen müsste. Ah ja, da waren wir auch schon mal. Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Wundervoll. Kann man hier auch irgendwie aus Versehen abhauen? Nee. The Memory Zone. Da fehlt noch was. Was da? Was fehlt da?
Here's where it all began.
Can you find them?
Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Ich finde jetzt auch Nummer 7. Das war zu offensichtlich. Okay, da kann man nicht durch. Nummer 8.
And here was the second Stanley.
Nummer 8.
I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6.
Hallo?
But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Ich dachte, wir finden nicht mal einen davon.
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Ja, aber ich will... Oh, das ist wieder eine von diesen Entscheidungen, zu denen man nie wieder hinkommt. Oh, die Entscheidung ist schwer. Die Entscheidung ist schwer. Ich gucke hier mal um die Ecke. Okay, man kann hier, glaube ich, nicht viel machen. Zurück zum Anfang. Ja, dann nehmen wir die 1.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory.
Ich habe das aber in einer anderen Reihenfolge eingesammelt.
That it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Okay.
Let's see. What came next? Oh yes, we found a figly in this pink room.
Nee,
well,
haben wir
I
nicht.
can't actually say I remember
Aber
being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Diesen Raum habe ich noch nie gesehen. Aber die Musik ist schön. Da.
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really
Das war
something
die
special. It was
4.,
by
aber
the red
egal.
and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh, so eine schöne alte PowerPoint. Nicht PowerPoint. Wie hieß das? Wie hieß denn das Cut-Programm? Hat man das? Doch, das hat man mit PowerPoint gemacht. Nee, das hat man nicht mit PowerPoint gemacht. Mit was hat man das denn gemacht? You found it near the red and blue doors. Kommt man das im Windows Media Player? Nein, das auch nicht. Irgendwo kommt man doch so richtig billig cutten.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Nimm die rot. Aha, okay. Haha, hat er schlau gemacht, wir nehmen die blaue. Ey, das könnte ein so gutes Horrorspiel sein, ne? An alle Spieleentwickler so. Stanley als Horror-Game.
Clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a fiddly and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Wow! Wow! Wow, you are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone. No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines?
Stop the loading screen.
We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Das ist das Gebüsch, was noch ganz wichtig in der Story wird. Okay, ab in die Vergangenheit.
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Können wir jetzt ins Boss Office? Das ist so bescheuert, ne? Ja, egal.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Jetzt sammeln wir die alle nochmal.
Yes, I love that video.
Jetzt kommen wir in diesen lila Raum. Ja, das ist auch ein bisschen
Still
Gedankentraining,
don't
ne?
remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Ja, süß, mit hübscher Musik. Dieser Apfel, dieser riesige. So dermaßen unnötig. Jetzt gehen wir auf Klo.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Hübsches Bild. Ja. Jetzt gab es ja eigentlich dieses Entweder-Oder, ne? Jetzt gehen wir da mal gucken. Gehen wir doch nicht. Schade.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too.
Ich
The
auch.
past is truly
Absolut.
a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
17 von 6. Geil, ja. Hä? Wieso denn jetzt im Häuschen? Ach so, ja.
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Gute Frage. Ja, Collectibles. Ah, cool. Ein riesen Stanley. Ist mir der überhaupt aufgefallen? Habe ich den schon mal gesehen? Kann ich den collecten? Nee. Schade. Ich würde den gern collecten. Ein Springkreis.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
Und er merkt sich, wie viele Sprünge ich gemacht habe.
The
Geil.
time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Sie filmen beide in den gleichen Raum. Wir nehmen trotzdem die Rechte. Unser
And before
Büro.
everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Ich habe keine Ahnung. Es gab nichts vor dem Büro. Gar nichts. Nichts.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes,
Probably, yeah.
Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship.
Ja,
And
so ist das
Stanley
mit
really did
imaginären
make for a
Freunden.
wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time.
Ja,
I'll
wenn
take
du das
care of
willst,
myself.
dann schaffst du
I
das
don't
auf jeden
need
Fall.
Stanley
Ich
anymore.
glaub an
Oh,
dich.
but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give
Klar.
Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Klar,
I did
mit
enjoy telling
Sicherheit.
the story so very much.
Auf
Okay.
jeden Fall.
Here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Es ist so brutal, dass man nie weiß, ob sich jetzt was
Stanley had never seen
geändert
the
hat.
office this brightly lit.
Oder
Was it a
nicht.
sign of something? He hoped
Oder
it
doch.
was. He hoped very much that it was.
Wir müssen jetzt ja nochmal ohne Eimer alle Knöpfe drücken.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill surprise.
Ich musste nicht mal die Knöpfe drücken. Irgendein Quatsch passiert da noch.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Ja, mir wird richtig warm. Haben wir die Stärke, um das hier alles rauszufinden? Was
Now
passiert
the
da am Ende?
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals.
Aber da ist auch wirklich
reduced
auf
to
keinem
images on a
einzigen
screen.
Bildschirm ist irgendjemand.
And
Ne?
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to
der war
believe
vorhin
it
auch noch
couldn't
nicht
be
gefeuert.
true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his
Aber doch, das
emotions
waren
had been
zwei.
manipulated to accept it
Ich weiß.
blindly? No, he refused to
Hinauf.
believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable. Wasn't
Absolutely.
it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Wir waren noch nicht ohne Eimer da drin. Also noch gar nicht, ne?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Funktioniert
Happy
jetzt 1, 2,
or
3?
sad
Kommen wir jetzt
or
drauf?
content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Ich glaube, nein. Irgendwas in mir sagt mir, dass wir das hier alles ausschalten sollten. Na.
Oh, Stanley. You didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments.
Muss man jetzt die Knöpfe hier drücken, oder?
But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going.
Warte mal.
What
Nee,
all this
0.
means.
Habe ich irgendwo
I
eine 0
barely know
gesehen?
where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A
Yeah.
moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Was?
Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Oh nein.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside. Or I
Okay,
let
diese
it burn
Knöpfe
to a
bringen absolut
crisp.
gar nichts.
I have to say this,
Wundervoll.
though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness,
Charge.
only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Es sagt
dear
alles
me, what's the
4.
matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Der Controller
Did you
fängt an
just
zu
assume when you
vibrieren.
saw that
Keine
timer
Ahnung, was das
that something
bedeutet.
in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Nö.
Stanley.
Ist das wichtig?
You're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you.
Button
That
hint.
timer isn't a
Orange
catalyst to keep the
active.
action moving along.
Button
It's
hint.
just
Orange
seconds ticking away to
71.
your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy.
Das steht auch auf
You
allen,
control
ne?
this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown down.
Ein riesen
Will
Countdown.
you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? A another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Huch. Habe ich es kaputt gemacht? Upsi. Naja. On.
Didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that
meine
what you
Maschine.
wanted? Control?
Ja.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to what the machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off.
Danke, Nimoje. Ich wäre fast eingeschlafen. Das hast du jetzt natürlich, Gott sei Dank, unterbrochen.
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do, for example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent. Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Hellseher.
Just making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me.
Hey, die Tür war von vorhin offen.
What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that?
Ja, war das durch.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Ja, das machst du ja gerade,
I let
lieber
the office
Erzähler.
sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this though, this version of events has been
Danke, Christian, dass du das geklippt hast. Das freut mich ungemein.
Take back the control wrested away from you. It's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness,
war
only
abgesprochen.
34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Wie? So war die Tür vorhin
What's
auf.
the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it on?
Eins.
I mean, look at you. Running from
blau.
button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons. No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything. Something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? Will this video game be beaten? One solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Richtig?
But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10, 100, 1,000?
Me and two.
I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me in a witching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again.
Again?
And Stanley died again. Take a look
Goodbye.
at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom ends. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully?
Klippe 4 gibt's leider noch nicht.
Make it count, or don't.
Steht aber auf meiner Liste für, eigentlich für morgen.
Believe me, I
Mal
will
gucken,
be
wie lange ich schlafe.
inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after. Did he have the strength to find out?
Da eigentlich auch runterhüpfen? Ja! Ach nee, das haben wir schon mal gemacht, ne?
Well done.
Es tut mir leid, das habt ihr alle schon mal gehört jetzt.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. Should have been careful. Used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Vor allem steht da mal 5 und der singt das irgendwie 9 Mal. Das war anders geplant. Steht da irgendwas, was man verwenden kann? Ja, nicht wirklich, ne?
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, He knew it was...
Bla 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 bla
Oh,
bla.
Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go. Turn the controls off
Supposed
and
to.
leave. Until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Huch. Jetzt ist das Spiel ganz explodiert. Ich darf mir eine Wunschzeit... Er hat mir gesagt, ich darf mir eine Wunschzeit aussuchen. Beim letzten Mal. Ja. Meine Lieblingsuhrzeit. Morgens kurz vor 3. Es ist nicht kurz vor 3, oder? Nee, Gott sei Dank. Ja, wie präzise? Das ist definitiv unpräzise. Weißt du, du solltest wissen, dass ich ungeachtet der Präzision der Uhrzeit großen Spaß am Anpassen dieser Einstellung habe. Ja. Es ist gut, Daten zu sammeln. Na, wünschte, wir hätten mehr Regler. Aber es sind alle Regler durchgegangen, die ich habe. Ja, vielleicht. Er hat neue Regler für mich, wenn wir das Spiel das nächste Mal starten. Bin gerade überlegen, ob wir das jetzt nochmal versuchen. Zellen.
And when at last he found the source of the
Englisch
room-
lässt grüßen.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Ja.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine
Jetzt
for yourself.
versklav
Is that
ich
what you
alle.
wanted? And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of
Ich muss ein bisschen mehr drüber nachdenken. Ich drücke jetzt erstmal hier diesen Ausknopf, weil das haben wir ewig nicht. Haben wir noch nie gemacht. Okay.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Absolut
Was
Ungewissheit.
it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone
Vielleicht.
else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many
Also mit
puzzles
Eimer
still
kommt man
lay
da nicht
unsolved.
durch.
Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to
Vielleicht
let
kann man
go.
jetzt ja springen.
No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
Ja, es gibt
This was
6
exactly
Enden
the
oder
way,
sowas. Oder
right
mehr.
now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy. Beende das Spiel. Krass. Zum Ende ein herzliches Dankeschön von uns beiden fürs Zuschauen. Wir hoffen, es hat genauso viel Spaß gemacht zuzuschauen wie das Aufnehmen und das Streamen.
Lasst gerne einen Kommentar da, drückt den Daumen nach oben und abonniere unseren Kanal.
Genau, den Kanal findest du hier. Die Videos da. Ein paar Empfehlungen, ein
Bis dann.
Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen.